Vampires suck. Literally. The world needs someone to get rid of them, and no one does it better than Castlevania's Belmont family. It's been 20 years since Simon Belmont first set off to take down Dracula, and nearly 24 titles later, the series is still going strong. So what makes gamers flock to the store for each new release? We'll attempt to answer that question as we take a look back at the history of Konami's Castlevania. The game that started it all, Castlevania, for the NES, debuted in 1987. It took players on a quest through Dracula's castle, and featured an arsenal of vampire hunting gear, including the now ubiquitous whip. Despite a few awkward control issues, the game had all the makings of a classic, and went on to be a huge success. A year later, Konami decided to release a second Castlevania, Simon's Quest. The game starred Simon Belmont again, but this time play was less linear and had role-playing elements. This brought new depth to the series. To advance, players would have to solve puzzles or get items instead of just hacking away at ghouls. A third game for the NES was released in 1990, and let players switch between Trevor Belmont and other characters on the fly, a concept that would be reiterated in later games. Castlevania III: Dracula's Curse was well liked by fans, and by then the franchise had surged in popularity, almost to the level of franchises like Super Mario Bros. And The Legend of Zelda. The Belmonts would then make the jump to the 16-bit world with Super Castlevania IV on the Super Nintendo. Number 4 was basically the same game, but gave players some new tricks, like the ability to flick the whip and swing over gaps with it. During this time, Castlevania also made an appearance on Sega's Genesis console with Bloodlines, and then back to the Super NES for Dracula X. The series also had success on the Game Boy, and would have a run of 3 titles on the handheld. The games worked well on a portable, but it was really on the 16-bit consoles that the games came of age, and defined a visual style that would stay with the series to the present day. But would Castlevania hold up to advances in technology?